DTF.
She tell me she
DTF. I heard she DTF.
What?
And you ain't hanging with the team if you ain't down to fuck.
Okay. Well, little mama bag got that code in a sprite with my
Hey, Darryl,
Hi.
tell me about your butthole.
It's fantastic and clean because I own a bidet.
Yeah.
It's good times.
It's a pretty critical house appliance.
I just, if you needed proof that America is not all that we say that it is, and I get why we do, but if you needed proof, I think that proof is our lack of bidet support.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate our flush toilet situation. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, the reliance upon paper is weirdly silly.
It wasn't even a matter of paper for me. It's just a matter of cleanliness. It's a quicker way to get clean. Confident.
I use them in tandem.
I use them in tandem. No, yeah, actually, because of my work with Tushy, I have some of their bamboo butt wipes, their bamboo butt cloths. So sometimes I don't even use paper. I just spray and then dab with a washable towel if you needed all of that information. But it wasn't even about the toilet paper. It wasn't about the use of paper. It was just about the amount of times you got to wipe it. Sometimes it's not clean. Your diet varies, which means that the end result of that is going to vary. So sometimes it's real quick and easy. Other times it's not. But you really level the playing field with the bidet. You just power wash it clean every time, no matter what happens.
We are trying so hard to get a sponsor.
Right?
And right now, just letting Tushy know they're in the lead because we both have one. Shout out to Tushy. They sent me a free bidet because I wrote an article on anal pleasure. I will absolutely sell out.
Oh, I will fucking
sell out.
I've met I did a commercial for them. That's how I know them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, Tushy folks.
Yeah.
Hi.
Just letting you know that across the bottom could be scrolling.
They all butthole.
Yeah, brought to you by Tushy. All right. Well, welcome. How are you doing?
Hello. We did it. We made it through another week of this.
Welcome
this is our
to
fifth
this
one?
is our sixth
one. Damn, we were pretty much, I guess we were 2 weeks off of the end of society before we said, hey, let's do this.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, for those who don't know, for whatever reason, you are listening to DTF, the Darryl Timaree Fun Hour, which is the greatest sex education comedy, sometimes game show. It has almost been around for 7 years next month, and now it is finally. People were like, "Where can I hear your podcast?" And we were like,
"It's a live show. You're here." You're asking me this while you're looking me in the face. Yeah, but I want to not see your face. No, I get that. But
It only took a pandemic for us to finally listen to people's advice.
Hey, that's what's important. We are not completely obtuse. We wait for everything to come falling down before we decide that, hey, because, I think both of us enjoy the art of live performance. And both of us found a calling in that, and as such did not feel a super duper need, as we were both doing other internet things, didn't feel a tremendous need to bring this there. It's fun, just like sex. It's fun in an intimate setting. It's great to do in front of and with your close friends. So yeah, now we got to do it online because they shut everything down. Speaking of which, you should read the article written by a Dr. Timaree in the Philadelphia Weekly about how many sex workers are coping with the onset of the apocalypse and it happening in tandem with false assessment.
Philly Weekly.
Triple punch.
Check it out on the internets. You don't even have to go find a physical copy right now. You can go to the internets and you can read interviews with burlesque performers, professional dominatrix, sex workers. about how they are navigating quarantine, and especially in the complicated time of social media being especially prude since FOSTA SESTA. So it all sort of came to a head. But nobody's more resilient or a bigger hustler than people in the sex industry. So
Very true.
yeah.
Super true.
Yeah. All right.
Well, yeah, we're here to provide you with your news in sex and fucking.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to our first story.
Yeah, first story. Very nice and silly one. If this will help. Nope, it's not gonna work with me. There was a woman who lived in Arizona, who, even though this article's from New Zealand, is a woman in Arizona. I imagine Arizona is in the United States, not Arizona NZ, but she got a vibrator stuck in her and had to go to the hospital, and she complained of abdominal pain as she was engaged in some type of sexual activity with her partner. Turns out what had happened was the sex toy she was using, which was one of those tiny vibrators, got stuck in her bladder. It went in the wrong hole. She thought it was going to be a good time. It sounded like it was something else.
Sounded.
Come
Let's
on
see
now.
what you did there.
Come on now, we out here. Yeah, she got a vibrator stuck in her bladder and it went sideways.
Yeah, so that is a really interesting story, because it's like first, like it unravels like a mystery. It's like, why would a vibrator send you to the hospital? Did you put it in your butt? Like, because that happens.
That's typically the way a vibrator sends you to the hospital. It gets caught in your butt. And you get too tense to just let it pass out naturally.
And it doesn't have a flared base, and then like the suction, and it's like, what? And then it's gone, and you think that you have it, and you don't, because it's in the suction. But no, she was using it for urethral stimulation.
Was she using it for I thought it was just vaginal.
Well, it went into her urethra, so.
Yeah, I think she just slipped up.
I mean, maybe. Like, okay, so this is the thing, right? So like reading between the lines, and then also like some comments from some other sex educator folks on this article, it was kind of like, they specifically say on the website for that product, this is not for urethral stimulation, because it's narrow. Like the toy that she used, I believe it was like, was it a Crave or something? It's something that's very like thin.
They said it's a Vesper, I think.
Okay, but it's one of those where it's like it's like pen-like, as opposed to.
Yeah, it looks like a neck, like it's a necklace that is a little vibrator thing, and it's like, I mean, it would be actually smaller than this thing. Yeah. For reference, I don't know why I would bring that up. It's just it's a little smaller than this. Like if you had one of these.
Smaller than this.
But you took it on a tiny scale.
It's smaller than this.
One of these can't fit in a urethra, but if you took this, then you might.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I mean, plausible deniability is, they were just doing some sex in. Yeah, there you are.
Right? I don't know what happened.
And it got vigorous and slipped, and that's the same way that we end up with like fractured penises, right? Because people just get too vigorous. It's not a bone, but you can come down onto a weird angle. So it's always possible. Injuries are weird, but then at the same time, like,
these things happen. But like, man, I mean, these things happen, especially if you're trying to be adventurous. If you're trying something new, you are bringing in a level of danger into your sex play if you're trying something new, right? Just, everything we do is dangerous. It's just a matter of moderating it, right? Like just doing it intelligently. If they were practicing some urethral stimulation, that's great. But what's great is that the picture, and this would have been the picture I would have used if we were doing a live DTF. You should come and see it. The PowerPoints are amazing. You can see her IUD is in there, which I was like, man, go ahead, lady.
Wow. Okay.
It's floating in the back. It's just back there like, hey, wrong hole, am I right? I was looking for it. It was over there. Like, nah, I was looking. I was trying and nothing. I just crazy that we meeting like this. It's pretty awesome. So
Oh,
she
wow.
was trying to be safe. Got a Vesper vibrator necklace stuck in her urethra, boy. Even though I don't see a chain. There's a chain in the stock photo, but I don't see any chain in the X-ray, which could be.
Maybe it broke off. There's a lot. There's a lot there.
There's a lot. It's a painful story that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I imagine they got it. They were able to get it out. They were doing pelvic exams, couldn't find it, did an X-ray, and then they surgery to remove it. And oh no, she plans to sue the company.
Oh.
This article says, which is, it's America. We sue.
That is how we solve all of our problems. Yes. Wow.
It's America. We sue,
right.
but I can't imagine them. I'm almost positive that there is plenty of literature on the box that it came in and with the paperwork that came with it that shows you how to charge it, that says, don't put this in your pee-pee. You got different holes. You shouldn't put it in any holes, honestly. It's a vibrator. It's a very tiny one, probably meant for clitoral stimulation.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, maybe you can stimulate a frenulum. The friend, everyone's a friend of the frenulum. Maybe
Side of the dickhead.
Yeah, right there where the Darth comes in, of the dick, like it's right there, that part. If you're circumcised, if not,
when
that's right. When the glands protrudes from the foreskin, it's still there. That's true.
Yeah.
It's almost as if no one needs to cut off any pieces of penis off of babies.
This is a conversation we get into periodically, and I'm not like an ideologue on this because I have
We'll leave that to friend of the show Pilar Sol.
Yeah, but I have friends who have specifically researched male circumcision and spent a lot of time looking at all of the data and interviewing a lot of different people and all of that kind of stuff, and they come down on the side of, which is surprising to me because based on the information that I have and like my belief system in not doing surgery on someone who can't consent to it, that in and of itself is the reason that we wouldn't do it. But then someone will come back with the counter argument that's like, okay, so sex ed and safer sex practices would be a better form of HIV prevention than circumcision. Without question, it would be better. That said, for people who don't have access to those things, who are just not going to get that sex ed, that's just not going to come into their world, they are not going to use condoms, this could be the difference between them getting HIV or not. And so it's like...
The science is kind of out on that, isn't it? It's not a substantial difference.
It is okay, so it is a statistically significant difference because the way that a number of STIs are transmitted is through mucous membrane. And through circumcision, there is mucous membrane removed, which is why it is less sensitive for someone who has had that skin removed. And the reduction in HPV is also statistically significant. So I come down on the side of like, still way more statistically significant would be condom usage. Way more statistically significant would be having comprehensive sex ed. You're gonna have, for outcomes based, that's still the better way to go. And because ideologically I come down on the side of you don't perform surgery on people who can't consent. So I still come down on that side. But there are health educators and medical professionals who actually are sort of like ambivalent. It's always a confusing thing. Yeah.
Well, if you had a foreskin, you'd be less likely to get a vibrator stuck in your urethra. It's the same. It's the duck vagina principle. There's just extra pockets. So it's very much unlikely that, it's less likely that you would sink the putt, as it were. It's not the best metaphor for getting something stuck in your pee hole, but it's a thing some people like.
Yeah, if it feels good for you to do urethral play sounding, read up on it first.
Yeah.
Look into it a little bit before
Right.
you dabble. Like a lot of things, like there's a lot of sexual things where you can just like, oh, that feels good. We can keep going with that. And it's like not an expected sensation or play. But when we are inserting things in bodies, it's a good idea to have done a little cursory research. So look up
A
sounding.
little bit.
Yeah, make sure that like the size is appropriate, like make sure that the lubrication is appropriate, like that the person doing it is sober, like a lot.
In fact, I'd say like the person doing it is you. I would say like, especially for the first time, the person who's doing it should be you, because you want to have that. You want to have that body feedback loop telling you when you've pressed a little further than you should. Ugh.
Would you like a palate cleanser that's actually related?
I think so.
Okay, great. So this actually is
Sounds great.
All right. Well, this is a perfect segue into my story, which actually has to do with under quarantine, people are using creative means of masturbating. So if you are not one of the many people who were able to buy sex toys during quarantine, like a ton of people have been doing, and Amazon's still been delivering, and New Zealand sex toy sales have gone up dramatically. But let's say that you don't have that. What are resources for doing things at home? So there is a New York Post article that's about household items and how to use them in a way that is safe. So for instance—
Sounds dangerous, but yes, safety is the key.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, harm reduction, right? Like it wasn't designed for it, so it is always going to be limited to that degree that that's not its intent. Like a cucumber wasn't designed for that.
Right.
But if you're going to use something inside of your body, like it's a good idea to make sure it has no sharp edges. It's a good idea to put a condom on it. It's a good idea to make sure that it's not going to break, that it is something that's solid, that will stay in one piece. So those are important things. And again,
freeze the banana first. Freeze it. Remove the skin, then freeze it.
And still put that in a condom. Put that in a condom.
Oh yeah. You don't want, because you get that frost freeze when like you stick your tongue on the metal in your freezer. You don't want that.
No. Want that. And then also again the mushy and the breaking apart. You don't want stuff to stay up in there later. That's not gonna be a good time for you.
I try to use the campsite rule for vaginas. I don't leave anything in there that I didn't show up with. I try to, I leave that place spick and span.
Nicer than you found it, yeah.
Nicer than I found it, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so condoms help keep stuff sterile, and then also if it breaks, you don't have to go fishing for it. They also, in this article, talked about using electric toothbrushes as a stand-in for a vibrator, which I can vouch. I went to Firefly one time and, hadn't charged my stuff adequately. But if you're going to do that, like take the toothbrush part off of it. So you just have the vibrating part of it, and then cover that with something like, for instance, the doctors in this article recommended a cotton covering, like a t-shirt or cloth or something like that. Well, they said to put that over the bristles, but again, just put something soft between the motor function and your body. Unless you're planning on just tossing that.
Check the inside of my mouth.
Yeah, unless you're planning on just tossing that toothbrush part later, in which case,
I would imagine just use the back of the toothbrush, because that's where the movement's happening, so you get the vibrating part. But I mean, yeah, definitely put something on it. But I didn't think like take the toothbrush attachment off, because I haven't had a mechanical toothbrush in a while. But typically, if there's something that just goes like this.
Yeah, it's just like a piece of metal, so you would want to cover that if you were.
Right. Yeah, that's right. It's that one piece of metal that just like kind of spins, and I was like, I don't think that doesn't sound fun. There's hair.
It's uncomfortable. Yeah. So yeah, just make sure that you're adequately distanced from mechanical parts that are moving, if it's not originally designed for sex toys. But of course, I always want to just put out the general thing. You've always got plenty of other options, including your own hands, because again, masturbation is the safest sex you can ever have, especially during quarantine.
Definitely. As long as you wash your hands.
Yeah. This is true. Yeah. It's interesting. Like the New York Health Department put out those provisions about like safer sex that were just like, sex with yourself is the safest.
Yeah.
Don't kiss nobody.
Don't kiss nobody. Don't rim nobody. keep all your fluids to yourself.
Yeah. But I appreciate the ingenuity of like, I don't necessarily have money to buy something new, but I'm gonna make it work. So I appreciate that part. Just be safe about it.
Yeah, be safe. If you're going to touch yourself, I mean, please touch yourself. In fact, you should be doing that right now. But be safe. Handle it. You know, there's a reason you can't see my hands.
Here.
All right.
All right. I think you probably have another story.
Yeah, I do.
Got time for one.
Of course, for the times, let's keep it real current. There are some doctors in China, I believe. Yeah, this is from the Daily Mail. The title says doctors in Wuhan, but then it just says doctors in China. Some medics in Wuhan are saying that some of the antibodies that are flared up as a cause of the COVID-19 virus tend to hang out in the testicles. Yeah, your balls keep it in there for a while.
Wow.
And yeah, apparently a little more than if you don't have testicles. And so there is, these are very preliminary reports. This is the sort of thing that no show should be covering, but maybe the president wants to talk about it. Yeah, apparently they stay in the balls. So what they don't know if it causes any long-term issue with reproductive ability, but they do. These scientists in the meantime are saying, hey, if you get the infection and you clear it, you should probably undergo relevant fertility tests upon recovery to detect any possible problems as soon as possible.
That's wild. That's interesting because it's also, there's a lot of interesting conjecture because nobody knows, but about like why more men are dying from COVID.
It was one of, I remember someone throwing this out as a possibility, like, is it because it stays in the testicles longer? And I don't even think it's not the actual virus. It's it's the ACE2, the host cell receptor that tends to be in the balls. And so it stays around a little longer because there are a lot of those in the sac. Yeah, so whatever.
Probably remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen.
It's going to be one of these things that we hear about again a year from now.
Right? It'll be like, yeah, because wasn't there, I forget, I think the same thing happened with I guess with SARS, because they said it's the same thing. They were like, oh, you may want to stop having sex. I think we covered this on a previous DTF. When SARS was around, that was like some scientists or, medical professionals or pharmacists or people who have degrees were saying that it's possible that you may want to refrain from having sex if you've had SARS. And they didn't know exactly how long. And it was probably because of this testicle thing. So, a lot of science is happening with this drug, with drugs and how they affect this virus. There's a lot of research going on. Obviously, the entire world is essentially has nothing better to do than figure out this virus. So yeah, when this happens, we end up getting these kinds of fun reports. That it's in your ball. So if you end up getting sick, just make sure you crank it out a little more often, just to try to clear the basin, as it were. Purge. Yeah, that would be a really funny sound.
It's just, there's no more liquid. It's just air. It's just like dust. Until
nothing comes out. That's what you want to do. As soon as you're feeling better, just crank it crank that soldier boy until there is nothing left.
Just dust comes out.
Just you. I believe you want to yeet it all out of there. Did I do that right? Huh, kids?
Let's ask the young person. Yeah. I was told the other day I was not allowed to use the word yeet.
I think I'm allowed either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm almost positive I'm not allowed to use the word yeet. I don't think
Right.
that's, yeah. But I enjoy doing it purely because I'm old and it's very fun for me to be an old person for right now.
Yeah, and to
And there's
ruin it for other
people-
people. That's
Right.
a really good part of it.
Yeah. These are new powers that I'm fully getting and I'm getting used to them.
The ability to ruin someone else's fun.
The ability to ruin a young person's fun merely by asking about it or attempting it. Like, that sounds fun, huh? What do y'all jump on one leg? Let me get at a shot. And they'd be like, no, we're not doing this no more. Mm-mm.
We're officially done doing the thing. Now
That's
that you
it.
know about it, it's not cool anymore.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I like
What
it.
are you going to tell all your Facebook friends? And then they laugh. I don't know what they're laughing about. It's like, I just got it. It's actually kind of fun. I met my high school friends. We off that is what they would say. And I go,
Yeah.
what are you on then? Don't worry about it. Pops.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so like legitimately all the things that the kids are on, I tried at one point and then stopped doing because it's clearly not for me. Because like I did the Snapchats years ago, I did the TikToks years ago, and all I did was watch like parkour videos, and I didn't really understand the point, and I still kind of don't because I miss Vine. Let's be honest.
Vine.
I miss Vine.
Oh, Vine was like the precursor to TikTok. It just
Yeah,
didn't
they're
have
all
the
like
dubbing.
11 seconds long. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Do it for the
That was
Vine.
an
I ain't gonna do
art
it. That's
form.
yeah. Mhm.
That was art. Like people were making really creative stuff.
People were becoming artists with the medium.
Yeah. Like I'm a forever like missing Vine. I also am missing like legit Tumblr. Back when
Oh
Tumblr-
well, yeah. I can imagine. Even I, who was not a big Tumblr user, miss Tumblr for that. The 1 a.m. peruse. It's
It was
nothing like
just-
the 1 a.m. peruse.
Just artsy porn, just
Mhm.
everywhere. Just the
Oh, there was
artsy-
so many. Yeah, I've fallen down Tumblr rabbit holes and had some real good times. Not even like masturbatory, just like, wow, I didn't know people were doing this. Like, this is crazy. Like, there are Flash games that I ended up finding because of it. Like people who were really, really doing it out there. And hopefully somebody fucking comes up with some alternative.
Yeah, I mean, like it's basically kind of the story of what happened to MySpace, except for by the time that Rupert Murdoch came in and bought MySpace, like most people were already like, nah. But Tumblr was like at its peak, and then was just, and like Yahoo comes in and buys it, and then it's just like,
That's
well,
right. It was Yahoo.
yeah. And then just like, well, this is garbage trash now. And like, I mean, their argument is that they were having a hard time keeping child porn off of it. So they just got rid of all sexual content, which is
That's it's tough to argue against that. But I'm
But I
sure you
will.
could be a little better than
But
just
I
to
will.
say fuck everything. Right, yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of throwing out the bathwater with the babies. Am I right? Thank you. My album's by Gentrifier.
Yeah. So speaking of, yeah, tell the people where they can find out more about you.
Other way. There you go. I love that you did that. That's really dope.
Well, Instagram, Zoom, Instagram, Zoom.
It seems backward to me though.
It's backwards
It's
to you
just-
now?
Yeah, to me it is. Now
Oh.
it's the right way to me.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, you're seeing it too. Is it backwards to you? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Venmo her at Timaree Schmidt. I am Darryl_Charles. That's TARRYL, and then an underscore, and then Charles. If you don't know how to spell Charles, keep your money. On the PayPal's, I'm DarrylCharlesComedy@gmail.com, and you can go to DarrylCharlesComedy.com for all of the things.
Yes, you can Venmo me at Timaree Schmidt, which is not spelled like it sounds. Timaree dash SCHMI. Just the one T. Yeah. If you like it, yeah, just send us some money. Also, if you want to work out, I work out every day, and you can go to sweatwithtimaree.com. And if you're like, I don't want to work out, but I know people who would, you can just tell them about it. Like whatever. So I teach boot camps and Pilates every day, and you can hang out with me and we can get sweaty together. And sometimes my cat walks in, and that's kind of funny because she doesn't really interrupt. She's just like in the background, and it's one of those internet videos.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Ripley's a G.
Yeah. So we'll be doing DTFs every week while this happens until we stop. So if you like it, let us know.
If you like it, yeah, please let us know, because we may stop if no one says anything.
That's a good point. Very good point. But also, this is how I get to see my friend. So
yeah. That's really the big part, is that I get to hang out with my friends for a little bit, and before and after we entertain you fucks or whatever. Yeah. Hey, bunny.
All right. So with that, we will see you back next week for more DTF at your house.
Yeah, as long as we still have homes and electricity and stuff. All of that is kind of in the wind. Who knows? All right. Bye.
She tell me she DTF. I heard she DTF. What? And you ain't hanging with the team if you ain't down to fuck.
Okay, well, Lil' I'm on my back, got that code and a Sprite with my hand on the ass.